So welcome, Kiev. Thank you so much. I'm really emotional to stay here in front of you guys. And this is my first time in Kiev, my first time in Ukraine. And I know I have a lot of followers thanks to cocktail art in Ukraine in general, especially from Odessa, from Kiev. And I'm really happy to see you here today. And we're speaking about a really topic argument. Before to all, I would like to introduce myself because maybe someone of you doesn't know me because I'm not a VIP, I'm not an actor, a singer, a famous man. I'm just a bartender, like a lot of you. My name is Diego Ferrari, and I'm the bar manager of the Rotonda Bistro in the center of Milan. After the next slide, I would like to show you which is my place and how my place is connected with my topic argument. I'm working inside of this amazing industry from almost 24 years. I started when I was 17 years old behind a pizzeria, Italian pizzeria, and I crying a lot because I was so young and all my friends in the weekend, they goes outside to dance, to know girls, and my job was stay behind the stick and make people happy. During my career, I do a lot of things. I study to be a bartender, professional bartender, barista in Italy, so making coffee, not only cocktail, and understand how much is important the hosting. During my career, I do a lot of things, not only make cocktail. I took part in a lot of competition all around the world, and I've been in different times judge of the same competition, and also now in the last 3 years, consultant for different cocktail bar. 2 different cocktail bar, 3 different cocktail bar in Italy, 1 also in Dubai, and now my next adventure is in Washington, D.C., for a really famous cocktail bar and restaurant close to the White House. So I'm really excited about this new experience. In the industry, a lot of bartenders say I'm one of the most expert about low alcohol cocktails. In fact, this adventure becomes actually 5 years ago in my job place, the Rotonda Bistro. And was an incredible experience because I think we never know to learn during our career. And when this opportunity became true, I met this guy, a friend of mine from a long time ago, and he asked me if I was interested to be employer in this place, just for have a good bartender inside one big place in the center of Milan. But this man gave me different vision about this place. One of those was not possible serve cocktail above 21 ABV. And they say, what? Yeah, we cannot have bottle above 21 ABV. And they say, no thank you, it's not my job. Because I was so stupid and blind, because for me was, I know, I'm a bar manager, I'm bartender, mixology. I cannot do something just with the 2, 3, 4 different bottles. What can I do? But after this no, I say to myself after today, why no? It could be a great opportunity because we have inside of an amazing moment of the mixology world. So everyone can do incredible cocktails, mixology, molecular, rotavap, a lot of things. In my case was try in a different way and see in a different point of view the same cocktails. And I say yes. After a long time, a long study, I created my new book. In May, we publishing low alcohol cocktails, new frontiers of mixology, in collaboration with different great brands, Martini and Bacardi, Fabri Italia, also Italicus, Castagnier. We have Libe Glass as a sponsor, and we produced this book in double languages. Italian, for obviously I'm Italian, but for the English people all around the world, for the English languages, because thanks to cocktail art, we have a lot of followers all around the world, and we think this argument, this topic argument, could be really good for this moment, because it's the new trend. The book is available on Amazon in 4 different countries in Europe, and we're still working hard for the next December to promote it in the .com, so worldwide. Kenji already introduced me. What is Kenji? Brother, he's already go to have a drink, maybe have a coffee. Introduced me already my cocktail art group. What is this cocktail art group? It's the biggest photo group on Facebook. We have a small community of bartender, nothing compared with the big legend of our friend Cocktail for You. We have just 13,000, 14,000 people, followers in this group, and the 99% are bartenders, all bartenders. 24 hours on 7, they sharing pictures of them cocktail, them art on our group, and we have the opportunity to see in different countries, different trends, different cocktails, and why not, different culture. The amazing thing is 170,000 countries follow us, and the database in only 6 years grew up until 25, 26,000 photos. Now for the millennial people, maybe it's usual to just put on Google cocktails, recipes, Manhattan recipes, and see 1 pictures. But trust me, I'm 41 years old. When I started my job, in Italy there was maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 different books about cocktails, and just 1 magazine. Giacomo, maybe you can say about this. It was really incredible in Italy find books and review about cocktails. It was so hard. Maybe you would like to produce, I don't know, 1 tequila sunrise, and before to produce it, you have to know how appear in front of the customer, no? So your research was find some book. Now we are in the social media era. You just text tequila sunrise, and you can see maybe 2,000 pictures of the same cocktail. Cocktail art regroup a lot of these cocktails, a lot of these arts. I give you the opportunity to compare yourself with the different places all around the world, and maybe find just 1 more details, maybe 1 garnish, 1 technique work. Perfect for do it in your bar. We was speaking about, doesn't work? Okay. My job place. This slide is called Low Alcohol Cocktails, History of a New Limit. You can see in the picture, this is my job place. You can recognize it as a church, no? Yes, it was a church. Actually, it was a cemetery. Inside of this place in Milan, there was buried 150,000 people in 3 centuries. And the name Rotonda, Rotonda meaning in English, circle. We have this amazing circle wall with a small park inside. In the middle, you can find this church. The church was created at the end of the 17th century, and for 2 centuries and a half was used only for the bad thing. It was a massive grave. Then, in the beginning of the 20th century, the municipality of Milan decided to clean all the area, so remove all the people die inside. And in the 1950s, they restored all these amazing ancient buildings. 5 years ago, inside of this church was burned the child museum, a really nice place. So a new face of this incredible monument, because before was created for the died people, and now was only for child. And this museum asked to have a bistro and cocktail bar. We arrive, and when we signed the contract, was so amazing because the contract was a 2,000 page with I don't know how many limitations. You can see one of those. Interior design, what I mean, you have a bar, you buy an interior designer, you choose the best chairs, the best table, the best materials. It's up to you. You just to pay. Not for us. Every details, from colors, from chairs, from tables, was approved throughout tons and tons of paper signed from the municipality of Milan. Another limitation was no smell of food inside of the museum. Come on, we are a restaurant. A church is an open space. You have to create food, but you cannot produce smell of food inside. So we studied something different. We find a big electric oven, last generation, and we bring all the smell of food outside of the church. And last but not the least, until 2018, January 2018, no spirit above 21 ABV. I would like to give you an example what I mean less 21 ABV. It's like if you are in your cocktail bar tonight, you're working, you finish your shift, then you close your bar, and the day after when you go back for opening your bar, you discovered the 90% of the bottle behind the bar are missed, disappear. What are you doing? You kill yourself? You burn yourself? You close the bar? No, business is business. You have to find a new way for make business and understand how you can do it. Obviously, we do a lot of research for do this. Until January 2018, when, after this long research, we asked to the municipality of Milan if it was possible introduce spirit inside of our bar, but we promised them all our cocktails inside our bar was less 21 ABV in perception. What I mean? Can I do one gin and tonic now, but I cannot do Negroni? Sometimes you have to teach the customer, because the customer is a customer, he's not a bartender. He doesn't know. And maybe ask you, why I cannot drink a Negroni if you have a gin there for a gin and tonic? And we explain them our limitation is connected with the museum. So one Negroni is almost 25, 26 ABV. If you use a bitter Campari, if you use a really vermouth, so almost 18 ABV, and a normal gin, 40 ABV. Dilution, the rocks, is 25, 26. So it's not possible for me to do it. So we'll use different cocktail, Americano or the Negroni mistaken, so the sbagliato in Italian languages. And this is a really nice challenge because you have to teach. Actually, from when the bartenders industry was created, every day we teach something to our customer, because this is true. We teach them about a new brand, the new flavors, a new cocktail, the new trends. So this one is one more step inside of our long career during our long life. When I decided to say yes to my boss, my first impression was making a long analysis about the cocktails. Because, you know, for me was everything new. My perception was having behind the bar only 20 bottles, less 21 ABV. I say, what can I do? First step was the most important step, the analysis of the low alcohol cocktail. My first question was, in this moment of our era, what the brand say to the people and the consumers? Drink consciously. Drink consciously is don't drink a lot or drink low alcohol. So, first step, it could be fine. Then the health, because a lot of people, they take care about them health, and drink a lot of alcohol is not really nice for your body, for your blood. Maybe just because you drive, I don't know in Ukrainian if it's the same thing, but in Italy, if you drink a couple of glasses of wine, then you pick up your car, you drive, the police stop you. It's a really problem because you have alcohol in the blood. Also, I understood for business was a really nice opportunity to more profit because, yeah, if you drive, it's better if you drink. But the people who don't drive, they would like to spend the money and enjoy the time. So have maybe one cocktail. A lot of time during my master class, if you have to compare with some businessman in front of me, he asked me the same things. How about the drink cost and the profit? And my answer is really easy. Like the sample is, we are two different bars, mine and yours. You serve all drinks in the world with high ABV cocktails. In the same time of the day, aperitivo maybe, because we are in Italy and the aperitivo time is really important. My customer come in your bar, maybe ask you a cocktail with different ingredients, whiskey, I don't know, vodka, rum, why not? After one, he stopped himself to drink one more cocktail. Because in his mind, he maybe would like to go to have a dinner, then maybe have one more drink. In my bar, the mind of the customer is different, is open, because they know already it's a low ABV cocktail. So for them is drink one cocktail for the aperitif, and in their mind say, it's really low ABV, why not? Can I get one more? So, it's not profit. Also, some brand, some liquor, some vermouth, some different product have not the same price as spirit. If you use, because you love, I don't know, some kind of whiskey, maybe you have to spend 25, 30, 35 euro for one bottle. So the drink cost is not the same if you spend 10 euro for one liquor. So do you have more opportunity to compare drink cost and a good profit? Great marketing. Why? Because this is the beautiful example. You can speak about your job. You can speak about your adventure. You can teach friends and customers to approach our topic argument and understand it. Also, do you have an amazing opportunity to show your work, not only through the social media, but in my case, a book, just one book. We already sell in few months 1,500 books, and I'm not Harry Potter, for my lucky, or maybe unlucky, maybe unlucky. It's just a cocktail book. But this is a good signal, because the people, doesn't matter if you're a bartender or not, maybe they buy our book just for gift it to some cocktail lovers. Big opportunities. I travel every 15 days all around the world for speaking about this. So for me, it's the most beautiful opportunity of my life, because can I see the world, meet friends, colleagues, and see beautiful cities and cocktail bars. The opposite side, opportunities mean bring money for your place, for your job place. Because if you have a really straight argument like mine, low alcohol cocktail, trust me, a lot of people believe in you and follow you, come in your bar, and if you're happy, maybe you make a lot of cocktail. So, business mean opportunities, no? And maybe, why not, consulting? Because a lot of brands love this argument and ask you to make some consultancy about your, uh, your job. After this step, one more important thing was understand what happened during the bartender industry era. From Jerry Thomas until today is not just a title, is one big step during my study, because I researched in the past for understand the future. This is really important for us. I analyzed the old ingredients and the new ingredients for understand how big was the opportunity to mix a drink. Why? Because I connect the slide before when I say you lose the 90% of your bottle behind your bar. So you lose the 90% of the opportunity for make, I don't know how many cocktails. So if you have just a few bottles, you have to work a lot of time more than the other bartenders for match ingredients and find new flavors, no? Because if you don't do it, you can make one cocktail list, and after 10 years, you have the same cocktail list. Find all recipes. And you cannot imagine how big is it, this part. Because already in the old books, all the Our Maestro, they report a lot of recipes with low ABV ingredients. After I show you something. Then study and understand 1 century of different trend. What I mean? In the last 120 years, we see different trends during the bartender era. From the classic style, old school, then cocktail blue, tiki style, molecular, then homemade. Why is it important to understand the trends? Because if you understand the trends, you can understand the immediate future. And maybe do your best for serve new recipes, new cocktail, and understand to match your style in the perfect place. In fact, adapt research to the present and study is a really important step. If you have a classic cocktail bar, in my opinion, like just for say one, the incredible Savoy, the American bar, I don't serve a tiki style or a cocktail with the 2000 homemade ingredients in style. Why this? Because if you are the customer, you would like the perfect old school cocktails served with the old school style, no? In my place, I'm inside of an old church. I don't use molecular cocktails or homemade or tiki style because it's not the perfect match. It's like if you are dressed Dolce Gabbana and you go in the countryside with your horse. It's not the perfect match, no? You don't drink a martini cocktail close to the river, in the middle of the green park. It's not the perfect match. The martini cocktail is in the big clubs. So this part is important because you give something to your customer, and your customer have to recognize your style behind an amazing thing, like if you are in theater. We see Jerry Thomas, Frank Meyer, Harry Craddock, the Punch book. Inside of all these books, we can meet a lot of incredible recipes. And what they found was incredible. In the past, the liquors was a high volume alcohol. What I mean? The low IBV ingredient was just cider, port, beer, sherry, claret is a kind of wine and vermouth. That's it. Now, if you pick up one bottle of Bulls or creme de cacao, creme de menthe, the ABV is almost 26, 30, but in the past it was 35, 40. So one sidecar was pretty strong, you know? Now, I think because the taste of the peoples change and the cost for producing alcohol change, we have a different average of this ABV. And in this book, I found a different recipe. One of those was the Bishop, a kind of cocktail created with a grilled peach inside of a wine with a salmon. Then the Sangri, flip with beer, for example, with port. And these recipes, connected with the new ingredients, give me a new vision and a big idea about my future, so about my job inside of the Rotonda Bistro. With my team, and this is important, because alone you can do nothing. If you are not supported with a big team behind of you, and everyone say his idea about the drink, color, style, presentation, glass, taste, flavor, you cannot do the best. Especially if you are only a man, because we are a man, we do just one thing in one time. We cannot, like the women, do a lot of things in the same times. So we need to compare ourselves with the team, and the team bring you in the perfect way. Now, I just show you some of these brands, but it's only the 30% of my vitrina, my bar back. We have bitter, less 21, less 21. The bitter was the problem for in Italy, because Italian guys, they do a lot of aperitif, and the bitter for Italian guys is Campari. Campari is 25 ABV. I was already crazy because oh my gosh. And now I do a small research, and I find 3-4 different kind of bitter, less 21. And they say, really? Incredible, cool. So I call each brand, and I try each bitter for understand the flavor, the color, because the color is important, and also if the brand was perfect for us. One of those, for example, is a Bordiga from Italy. He made a really nice bitter, it's a 21 ABV. So for me, it was already perfect. Drops bitter. You know, Angostura is, I think, almost 47 ABV. For me, it was not possible to use it. But Fee Brothers make bitters less 21, a lot of, with different flavor. I say, okay, perfect, another step. Vermouth, normal. Already, Jerry Thomas showed us this step. Beer, why not? Wine, red, sparkling, as the spritz is used with a Prosecco. Port, red or white. Sake, and sochu. Do you know what is this, the sochu? The sochu is a based sake, distilled, and you can find from 15 until 55 ABV. In Korea, you can find it less 21. So for us, was a good match because was the only ingredient dry, for do dry cocktails. Aperol, everyone know Aperol, all around the world, thanks to the spritz. One of the most priced liquor in the last 3 years, Italicus, Rosolio di Bergamotto, Passoa, Peach Tree, Frangelico is a hazelnut liquor, and is one of my favorite inside of the cocktails. Midori is a melon liquor. Amaro Jesus. Do you know the difference, guys, from Amaro and bitter? Is not the same. Amaro is a kind of category of spirit. We use Amaro like a digestive after we eat something. On the rocks, plain, maybe freezy. Bitter is the category of bitter like Campari. Then also we have drops bitter, really high volume ABV in some case, or as a concentrated of flavors, and you use it by drops, just for give more powerful smell, perfume inside of your cocktail. It's not the same thing. Also, we have a Cynar. Cynar is another kind of Amaro with artichoke flavor. Ferrochina, another category of Amaro. Braulio, really famous in the North Italy. It comes from the mountain. It's really smooth Amaro, and he's around 21 ABV. In Italy, usually Amaro is 38, 40 ABV. So it was not so simple to find some Amaro less 21. But the mixology with the Amaro in the last 3 years, especially in US, grow up really fast. Saint-Germain, one of the most beautiful bottles in the market, in my opinion, with the Italicus. And the ladies love it, the elderflower liquor. Sherry, Marsala from Italy, South Italy, Sicily. Zucchero Barbaro is really typical in Italy to drink such an aperitif time, a little bit of zucca on the rocks, soda water. It's incredible. Baileys, everyone knows Baileys, Tia Maria. Fabri brand with the syrup and one more kind of bitter flavored with cherry. Monin only crème de cassis. All the rest of the Monin liquors are above 21 ABV. The crème de cassis is the only one less, it's 19 ABV. So the Key Royale, or a twist on classic of the Key Royale, was included in my humble list. Chambord, if you want to make the French or a twist of the French martini. Ron Miel from Spain, a kind of liquor made based rum, but honey taste. And more. Why and more? Because this is the real challenge. In every country, you can find a lot of brands less 21 ABV. But now it's up to you. I already did my research. Now is your research and the beautiful of this research to find something less 21 ABV and included this in your bar. Now you have a lot of different kind of bottles. Beginning was just 6, 7, 8. But after already 1 month, my bar was with under 20 different bottles. Was already a good start for create cocktails. But how made cocktail less 21? You have to give rules, straight rules inside of your cocktail bars. One of those is obviously less 21 ABV. If you want to be part of the really limited low ABV, you don't use spirit. If you want to be part of the low ABV cocktail with the spirit, you can use it, but you have to know how you can make cocktail. And thanks to the technology, there is a new app. The name is IFNB for Apple mobile phone, and maybe I think for Android you can find it on Google. FNB is a really amazing app because you have different area, and one of those is the strength drinks. So you can put the receipt of your cocktail, name, ml, ABV, all ingredients. Then you have to add the dilution. This is really important because ice become water. Technical bring this ice in dilution. So we have an average from the 10% to 20% of dilution, and depends what kind of technique work you use. If you shaker, If you shake it, then you putting inside of the, on the rocks glass, you have dilution in the shaker, dilution inside of the glass. If it's mixing glass, you have one dilution, and maybe really quickly. So you have to understand which is more or less your dilution, add inside of your app, and the result is the ABV of your cocktail. So now you can know how alcohol there is inside of your drink. Control the sweetness. Why this? Because if you stay less 21 ABV, if you pick up bottles less 21 ABV, do you have only one particular detail inside of this cocktail? The sweetness is more than one cocktail high volume. Because liquor, they have already sugar inside. If it's a spirit, like vodka, it's not sweet vodka, no? But if you taste a vermouth, vermouth is sweetness. Also, bitter is sweetness. So you have to compare and control the sweetness inside of your drink and balance with the different ingredients. Maybe soju, maybe why not sake, maybe lemon, or maybe soft drink, like tonic water or soda, why not? Or some drops. Dilution, we're already speaking about dilution. In every country, the dilution could change. I was in Bangkok in August. I worked behind this amazing bar, and there was usual to serve cocktail on the rocks with a big ice cube. There was 35 degrees outside in the nighttime. After 1 minute, the size of the block ice was from this to this. So your drink, the dilution is 35%, not only 15 or 20 or 10. But if you live in, I don't know, in Tallinn, it's not really hot during the summertime. So maybe the ice, the dilution is different, no? Create recipe bitterness, sweet, sour, and dry. Why? Because you cannot make only one kind of cocktail, only sweet. If you have in front of two customers, a couple, the man asks you, can I get one dry cocktail? Can I get one sweet cocktail for the lady? What do you say? No, sorry about, I do only sweet cocktail. I cannot do the dry one. What? We are bartender. So it's our job, make happy the people. Make your customer happy. You have to serve them. Doesn't matter how many limits do you have in your bar. The goal is make happy your customer and bring your customer the day after back in your bar. Because the customer, they don't care about your limit. Is it true or is it wrong? He would like to come in your bar for enjoy the moment, maybe with someone else. Not listen you, I cannot make this cocktail because I'm not able to do the dry cocktail. Huh? I give you some example of some cocktails in my cocktail list. This one is one of my favorite because I love Dirty Martini. And one was an amazing challenge to find one cocktail pretty dry. I start to use this sake. And I use it just one touch of martini dry. Also, brine of olives, you know, the water of olives. And I use it one technical, suggests me from US guys because they love too much the Dirty Martini. And they teach me, before to all, use the vermouth dry, not only the brine. Also smash a couple of green olives in the shaker, not in the mixing glass. Add all ingredients, shake, double strain, and your cocktail is really dirty. The color, you can see, is really dirty. Also the taste is olive flavored with sake and a little bit of vermouth. And for me, in the beginning was the most big challenge, find something dry. But I do it for make happy the people. Another one, we are Italian, we love coffee, we love bitter, we are aperitif people, so why don't do the American coffee? We just use one kind of bitter before I introduce you the Bordiga one, then mix with the Martini Riserva Speciale Rubino, so the base of the Americano Sbagliato Negroni, top up of soda, and we have a normal Americano, but we made a cold percolation with a coffee beans. So we use a different technique work, a kind of throwing, but this throwing is made from two different tins, throughout a small strainer with inside coffee beans. If you do it for 3 times, 4 times, the cocktail take a really nice smell of coffee, and the taste is bitterness, not too strong, and at the same time, coffee taste in the back. And a lot of people, they doesn't drink in Italy coffee after 6 o'clock, because they say, no, I cannot sleep tonight if I drink coffee. But they love to drink aperitivo, so why don't combine it both? Last but not the least, the julep all'italiana. We just pick up one different kind of julep cocktail, so mint base with a little bit of sugar. We use, in this case, drop of Angostura, but don't tell to everybody, guys. For me, it was a secret. A little bit of Italicus Rosolio di Bergamotto, Martini di Riserva Speciale Ambrato, so the white one, and top up of Italian Prosecco. If you see the picture, you can see there is a 3 different layer, and when you drink it, it's like Italian colors: green, white, red, or Hungarian if you're looking at the opposite side. So it could be fine for both. I hope this small introduction about low alcohol cocktail, did you like it? Because it's a really incredible, met all the trends and understand the future. I leave you here my last slide, all my contacts. If you have questions about, please contact me, send me an email, add me on Facebook, wherever, guys. I'm not a professor, we are all colleagues. And for one question, there is a 2,000 answer. And I'm really happy to answer you in every time of the day and the night time. So thank you, Kiev, and I hope you enjoy the barometer. Thank you.